in what seems like an absolute age. So welcome to my home as always. I do hope the notifications are being sent out. I have no idea who is going to watch this, but this video comes on the day of Catherine, Princess of Wales's 43rd birthday. So I want to send, on behalf of myself and all of the Royal Reviewer viewers, a massive happy birthday, happy 43rd birthday to Catherine, the Princess of Wales. And my goodness, doesn't she deserve it? She really does. She has had one hell of a year. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. It has been one hell of a year, and a lot has changed in that space of time. So I think there's a lot of reflection going on at Kensington Palace, and within the wider royal family household, I suppose. So I can see people dropping in already. I am going to read some information out as well about Catherine. So we'll get. Also, they shared a photo. I'll show you that in a moment too. I can see, lots of people dropping in, so I shall continue. So I hope you've all had a wonderful day. The Christmas tree is still up. We're taking it down on Friday, I promise, I promise. Although I am in great company because Her late Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II at Sandringham, used to keep her Christmas decorations up until probably mid-February. They literally went down when she left Sandringham to return back to London. So I'm in good company. If it's good enough for Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth, then it's good enough for me. Let's put it that way. Lots of people sharing their happy birthday messages for Catherine. So if you do have any questions or anything to ask me, I will try and read some out as well. I'll just pop it onto live chat so I can keep up with everything in the live stream. So I wanted to kind of share, I suppose, a little bit of info about how Catherine started life. So she was born on January the 9th, 1982, of course, making her 43 years old. And this was at the Royal Berkshire Hospital in Reading, Berkshire. Of course, she is the eldest of 3 Middleton children. Born of, obviously, Michael Francis and Carol Elizabeth, or rather I should say born of Carol, sired by Michael. And both of her parents, as has been made a lot of in the media, do have working class roots. Although if you go up Catherine's family tree, there are indeed royal connections. Obviously, Catherine's family were sort of modest working class people who did well. They founded party pieces and made their millions. So Catherine kind of had, I suppose, a privileged upbringing in that sense of the fact that her parents were wealthy and were able to send her to the best schooling, which gave her really good opportunities. And of course, the best opportunity possible was to be in the right place at the right time to meet His Royal Highness Prince William of Wales when they attended university together. Was it constructed? Was there a little bit of a plan by Carol Middleton to kind of get them in the right place at the right time and then let sort of chemistry happen naturally? Or was it completely by chance? We're never going to know, are we, my lovies? But anyway, it is a romantic story. It is a love match. It's not a relationship that was put together. And like I say, Catherine has had a privileged life and she will continue to have a privileged life up until the point that she is a queen consort, which will eventually be her eventual outcome. And I did have one comment a while ago, I remember reading, saying, is King Charles going to bestow any, more honours on her, blah, blah, blah. There isn't, in terms of titles and styles, Catherine cannot go any higher other than when William becomes king and she becomes, by virtue of being married to William, queen consort, I should say. So no, technically there isn't any other higher titles or ranks or anything that Catherine can ascend to or be elevated to. Yes, Kimberly, I've just described about the tree. Right, I want to share the photo because Of course, the Kensington Palace and the royal family Twitter's accounts and their respective Instagram accounts shared a new photo of Catherine. Now, it's not a new photo in the respect of it wasn't taken recently. I do believe it was actually taken before she was ill, in the July possibly, before she was poorly. So it is unseen by us. I mean, there it is. I'm sure you can see just about. I can't share it on the screen any other way, so I'm just going to hold that up like that. So it's a beautiful black and white photo, and it's accompanied by the message: to the most incredible wife and mother, the strength you've shown over the last year has been remarkable. So it's written, I think, as if it's from William. So I think this could be William's own words. It is signed by W at the bottom. George, Charlotte, Louis, and I are so proud of you. Happy birthday, Catherine. We love you. Now, I suppose this is not a landmark birthday. Normally, we get new portraits or new photographs released when there is a landmark occasion, a landmark birthday. So to have a new photo, even though it's technically a little bit of an older photo, but an unseen photo, I think we should say, at this time, I think goes to show the year that they've had, going back to what I said at the start of this live stream. They are viewing this, the fact that she's still here with us, as a fundamental milestone, which again, I think alludes to how seriously ill she was. I think the illness was kind of downplayed by the palace. Obviously not to worry us. I mean, they didn't want to spark even more panic and and concern than what there was. And remember, it was kind of a lack of information that sparked a social media frenzy. Do you remember all the dramas that we went through and all the speculation that we were going through? It was, it was pretty intense, shall we say. So I think, the fact that they are marking the fact that she's still here with us as a landmark, and they're marking it in a landmark way, issuing a new royal photo, like I say, I think it goes to show how seriously poorly she actually was. I'm going to go back to the comments and see what people are saying about that. What's New says, I think she looks so naturally beautiful in that photo. It is a classic type photo. I mean, she looks very relaxed, very natural, as you say, and of course, very, very beautiful. Some people, I'm sure, will criticize, why haven't we had a brand new photo? And I'm sure some people will be trying to look into that. What I would probably say is, maybe that particular photo holds a lot of meaning to William and Catherine. I think that could be one of the reasons. One of the other reasons could be if she's going through, going through ongoing treatment, she might not feel like having a new photo done, or she might not feel at her most beautiful, even though we've seen her, at Christmas, and she looked pretty beautiful to me, but she might not feel that way about herself. So maybe using an old photo when, she didn't have a care in the world, so to speak, or maybe something in there means something a lot to them. I mean, she's wearing very casual clothes. Maybe it's things that William bought her. I don't know. I'm just clutching at straws, but I think it's a very casual photo, but also quite a strong pose as well. She's doing the kind of hands in her pockets, very sort of self-assured pose, I think. Very comfortable in one's skin pose. So, there could be a whole variety of reasons why they chose that photo. Kimberly says, today is my mother's birthday. I thought, well, happy birthday to your mother. Right, I'm going to... Hang on just a second while I remove a troll. There we go. Troll has been removed from the live stream. Oh, the days when I used to have active moderators. I'm not digging, I'm not. But no, I remember the days when I used to have live streams that had like 1,000 people in one live stream. So we definitely needed moderators then. I can deal with these little nasties myself. Anyway, Let me see. There we go. Troll deleted. Now, I wanted to go to your questions. If you have anything to ask, anything to say, then do, of course, please let me know. The photograph was taken by Matt Porteous. As we know, Matt Porteous has taken many a photograph of the royal couple, including Catherine, in the past. Right, I'm going to go to the comments again. Right, oh, I do have my coffee. So by the way, this is a mug, a Virgin Voyages mug from the Valiant Lady. I bought this. It was literally around about this time last year. I was on a cruise, and I'm not on one this year, so I'm feeling a bit sad. So I'm using my my Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady mug with a Whittard coffee in it. Actually, I've now gone on to the French. I've progressed. I've definitely progressed from the from the like freeze-dried coffee, instant coffee, to French press coffee. Am I going to get to the point where I'm grinding my own beans? I don't know. I feel like I grind my own beans enough on this channel as it is, to be quite honest. Right, that's enough coffee talk. Lots of people saying happy birthday to Catherine. Okay, if there's not many questions going on, I will probably leave this live stream here as quite a brief live stream. So if you want me to stay on, then ask me some questions. Talk to me. Goretti says, I keep my Christmas decorations up till the end of January because my birthday is in January. And you love the lights. Well, it can be a bit dull, can't it? This time of year, especially in the UK, grey skies, snow, cold. It was -5 this morning. We've had the heating on all day. It can be a bit bleak. So having some lights on, keeping the festivities going is a good thing. However, that's not the reason why we've kept it up. We've kept the tree up because we are too lazy to take it down. No, we're not too lazy. We've been too busy to take our tree down. So we are taking it down tomorrow. That is the intention. Friday, the tree is going. However, like I said, Her late Majesty used to keep her tree up at Sandringham until mid-February. So we are in good company, I should say. If it was good enough for the late Queen, I do wonder whether or not King Charles is keeping to the same tradition. Now, I know that he moves from Sandringham to Balmoral, to Birkhall, their home in Scotland, a lot earlier than what the Queen used to stay at Sandringham. So we have seen in recent Sundays that the King has been seen at Sandringham Church, but they always go for Hogmanay. They go up to Scotland, they go to Balmoral, but they stay typically at Birkhall. So even though he's now got the run of the big Balmoral Castle, he still prefers the Queen Mother's former home, his home, of Birkhall. I think it's probably a lot more homely than the castle. And also it's a bit sort of less hassle to get it all ready for him to come because it's a smaller, it's still massive. Let's not get out of joint here. Birkhall is still huge by anyone's standard, but it's not the castle. How do you stop your fur babies from trashing the tree? Oh, they're well trained. No, to be honest, we don't really do anything to stop them. Rory is now about 12, so he's never been interested. Bose occasionally knocks the odd bauble off. He used to go in the tree, but now he's too big. He just stays away. So normally, Bo just sits on the chair over there. Can you see? Bo is on the chair. So no, they don't. I've never really had any issues with any of the cats and Christmas trees. Did we get a big snowstorm? My snowstorm video is on my other channel. So if you didn't know, I do have a lifestyle channel, which used to be my secondary channel, which is now kind of almost my main channel. Even though this channel has more subscribers, I actually post quite a lot on my other channel. So if you go to Elliot and Matt Lifestyle, you'll find all of my weekly vlogs, and you'll find all about the snowstorm there as well. Nika says, I think it's typical for Austria and Germany to leave the tree until February because we didn't put up until the 24th. Well, I think I think you might have it there because obviously the British royal family has Germanic roots. So perhaps the Queen used to keep it up, maybe for one reason, because of a nod to her sort of German heritage. However, it could also be, you know, I don't know, maybe she just liked her tree up, you know. Maybe she liked a bit of sparkle. Tammy says, I'm a new watcher, but now I'm curious why you used to have 1,000 on a live stream. And now, oh, it was all the Harry and Meghan stuff. So at the time of lockdown, when sort of Harry and Meghan stepped away, I basically had had enough of everything. Everything had got too much for me. I didn't like the hate. I didn't like the toxicity. I didn't like what Harry and Meghan had done. So during lockdown, I took a decision to step back myself from. I just had enough. I'd had enough. I've been covering the royals since 2015. I am the first person to put themselves in front of a camera and talk about the royal family. Everyone else, all the other royal YouTubers came after me. They all got the idea from me, basically, which is fine. I then decided to take my foot off the gas and concentrate on my lifestyle channel, which I am so glad I had, because during that period I needed a distraction from all the hate, from all the factions. It was just so toxic, and I'm just not that person. I'm genuinely not, and I needed to find where I fit back in this royal universe, because the royal landscape is completely different. Royal family watching 2015 versus royal family watching 2025 is worlds apart. Take me back to 2016, please. You know, when we had Queen Elizabeth and we had the Duke of Edinburgh and we had William and Catherine, and everything was lovely and everything was so supportive. It was just a completely different time, and all of my videos from that time period are still up on this channel. I think I have, is it 2,500 videos on this channel? Covering the royal engagements was really lovely. Everything was just lovely. Harry and Meghan, when Meghan came, everything just went down the pan. It really did. Not for the first year, but from when they decided to start battling the press, everything turned to factions, to hate. I remember in the early days, the sort of founders of the Sussex Squad used to come into my live streams to try and pimp or pinch my viewers to go to their channel. It was terrible. And then Harry and Meghan, when they left, they didn't just leave, they carried on all their hate towards the royal family, and they became completely, their behaviour became inexcusable. You couldn't defend them, and you couldn't be nice about them, because everything they were doing was just awful. As I said, I'm not a hateful person. You know, I don't like the toxicity, but they became, their own actions, words and deeds made it impossible to say anything positive about them because of what they were doing. How can you find something good to say about people that have been so nasty to their to Harry's grandparents when they were dying? I mean, it's just inexcusable. So I took a break, and by the time I was ready to come back, really, I was properly ready to come back when King Charles became king. I felt like it was a new start. I felt like it was a new beginning, and I felt like I could come back in and, you know. But anyway, the toxicity was still there. That hadn't gone away. So I was still trying to find my place in all of this. And to be honest, I think a lot of people now are coming to realize that royal watchers, people that watch YouTube, YouTubers, royal people, that viewers that watch royal YouTubers are coming to the realization that royal YouTubers are pandering to either one side or the other, and actually being very toxic. There are a lot of incredibly toxic royal YouTubers, and you know, they will play to whether you hate Meghan and Harry or whether you love Meghan and Harry. There are still YouTubers that, you know, blow the smoke up Harry and Meghan's kilts, so to speak, and then there is a lot of the hate YouTubers as well. I've never really been one or the other. I've kind of always found myself somewhere in the middle, more sort of factual, more balanced, I think I should say. So I think a lot of people are now realizing, sort of coming back to me basically, because I say it as it is, and I am going to make a lot more videos where basically I do hard talk. I don't tell you what you want to hear, and I think a lot of people are now appreciating that, and I think a lot of people are realizing that they're just being fed perhaps what their own opinions are. Does that make sense? Rather than actually being fed the truth, or as close to the truth as possible. I'm not saying I don't have a personal opinion. Of course I have a personal opinion, but I do try to tell everyone as much factual information as we can. I mean, even now I still get comments of people spouting really, really false information about Harry and Meghan, William and Catherine, the King and Queen Camilla. And I literally comment, where did you get this from? And they say that I've seen it online somewhere. And I'm just thinking, well, I think somebody made it up. You probably heard it from a royal YouTuber who just completely made up and then put it out there, and then people are just regurgitating it. And anyway, I couldn't do with the toxicity. So I took the approach of, I'm just not going to care. If I don't care what I say, then people can either love it or not. I've got my other channel, so I'm not particularly bothered whether I get the views or not. If people are ready to come back and to listen, then I'm here for them. But if they're not, then it's no skin off. It's no skin off my nose. Anyway, I digressed quite a bit from that. Okay, Betty says, what qualities do you think Princess Catherine has that makes her such a wonderful member of the royal family? Her resilience. I think she's very resilient. I think she can ride the storm in a very calm and considered way. She is very much, if you look at the traits of successful queen consorts, then Catherine has those traits. So, for example, the late Queen Mother, she was a rock to George VI, our Queen's father. He needed support, and he needed the support of a strong woman. And Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was that strong woman. When you look at Queen Camilla, she is a rock. She is King Charles's strong woman. Quiet, considered, patient, resilient, all these qualities. And then you look at William and Catherine. Catherine has those exact same qualities in a slightly different way. She takes a more modern approach. But, you know, when you look at, for example, you know, Carol and Michael Middleton, the family haven't spoken out against the royal family. Her Uncle Gary's had a few things to say, but I think he's a bit of a wild card. But no, I think she has that kind of rock steadfastness. And she has a sense of duty as well. You know, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, Queen Camilla, Catherine, they all have a sense of duty and respect for the monarchy and respect for the institution of which they derive great privilege from. Even though they weren't born into that privilege, they still respect it. And I think those are the qualities. So really good question from Betty. I'm going to scoot down to the bottom of the questions. Nika says, you're so right. I wonder what these YouTubers will do when Harry and Meghan disappear. I've wondered that myself, to be honest. The time will come when nobody really cares about the two of them anyway. I mean, I've always been here from the start, so no one can come to me. Well, people have tried to say that, you know, I'm milking Harry and Meghan. I'm like, no, I was here before Harry even met Meghan. So don't come for me that way, my lovies. Lucia says, in my opinion, Princess Catherine is a strong yet sweet woman. Her and Prince William always felt pretty equal to me. Well, I mean, in terms of rank and style, William obviously was higher, born into the royal family. But Catherine, middle class, privileged, parents did good, right place, right time, and of course they have been a partnership for, it's going on 20, I mean, they haven't been married 20 years, but they've been a partnership for 20 odd years now. So, they are solid. They've stood the test of time. What's New says, I love the royal family history you talk about, also the storytelling, and your music is great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I haven't made any more royal songs. If you want to listen to my royal themed album, it's called Clutch My Pearls. And there's quite a lot of intense material that I covered and tackled on that musical album. So I wrote it and I produced it. I didn't sing it, but I wrote it and I produced it. I created it. So if you want to search for Royal Reviewer, Clutch My Pearls, it's a musical album. It explores all the way from Queen Elizabeth passing. There's a beautiful song I wrote based on Sleep Dearie Sleep. It's a lovely sort of lullaby type song. And then it goes into the whole kind of War of the Waleses. There's a really fantastic country song I made called Revenge Dress. I actually think Revenge Dress could be played on country radio right now and could be a smash hit. So go listen to that one. Then we explore the kind of the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. And we go through to the modern times with everything that's gone on between Harry and Meghan and William and Catherine. And there's an incredibly sickly sweet Meghan song. So it's called Strawberry Jam. So if you want to listen to Strawberry Jam, it's very Tongan. It's the sort of song that I wrote where you could imagine. I say imagine. You don't want to imagine, but you can imagine that Meghan would play this song when she was getting jiggy with Harry. So do go check that out. And then the last couple of songs are sort of reflective of the monarchy. And anyway, I think it's a really good album. It hasn't had enough views or listens, so do go check it out. Texas Sunshine says, Catherine is absolutely lovely. I can agree with that one. And the UK is blessed with her. I think we are indeed. Lucia says, William and Catherine have been married for 13 years, but if you refer to the relationship from the beginning, it has been 20 years. Yeah, it's been a 20-year journey. So they are solid. They have stood that test of time. Have I seen the South Park with Harry and Meghan? Yes, I have, and yes, it was hilarious. Nika says, I really like your honesty and passion for the royals. I mean, as I say, when you look at the royal family, the current royals on the stage, how it has changed from when I first started, you begin to see that the players on the characters on the stage are only temporary. Harry and Meghan will just be a flash in the pan. They are a blip in royal history. They will be a footnote in royal history. Already Queen Elizabeth's reign is looking more and more like the past. And Harry and Meghan will fall into that category. So what I look at is the preservation of the monarchy, and preserving the monarchy should be number one in people's minds. What Harry and Meghan have been trying to do is to take down the monarchy, of which they derive their privilege from. So preservation of the monarchy is key. When Harry and Meghan are dead, when William and Catherine are dead, King Charles is dead, when all the current players are dead, when I'm dead, when you're all dead, there will be a new set of royal characters on the stage. And at the moment, we are living very much in the moment. And I think we can get swept away, especially with social media. Everything is very immediate, and everything, rather than, when you think back to, for example, the royal court of Elizabeth I or Henry VIII, Royal gossip has always gone on, but the gossip was kind of contained to the court, whereas now the court, if you like, is much bigger. The court is being played out on the world stage. Social media makes things instant. We are all connected. We can all talk. We can all engage at the same time. So royal gossip is not new. You know, this kind of toxicity, I suppose, has always been around, but it's been amplified by social media. So you begin to see with perspective where the current players on the stage actually sit, and that, you know, in 50 years' time, the people in 50 years' time will all be talking about something completely different. And all of this, what's been going on with Harry and Meghan, will just be a footnote in history. Everything is very temporary. It might feel like it means a lot in the present, but really it doesn't. Bigger picture, people. Donna says, what do you hear about the Edinburghs? Not a lot, to be honest. Sophie does turn 60 this year. Do you think she will receive the Garter? There are limited places with the order. Not everyone can get an Order of Garter or Order of the Garter or Order of the Thistle for its Scottish counterpart. So normally what happens is sort of priority whenever a space opens up. Now a space can only open up if a member of the Order of Garter or the Thistle passes away. So when a space opens up, traditionally it's gone to the highest ranking person that might be bestowed it. So, for example, when Prince William got it. So there would have to be a vacancy for anyone else to be added to it. I'm not quite sure what the numbers are at the moment, but I imagine the spaces are full. So if the spaces aren't full, then obviously the king can bestow. So maybe she could be in line, but she could potentially be waiting for someone to pass first. Lucia says, we are behaving like a court in this moment. If you think about it, we are. We are like, just imagine Bridgerton or any of the Tudor programs when, you know, you see everyone milling about the royal court, gossiping in corners. It's exactly the same, except we're not there. We're sat at home on our mobiles and tablets and computers, and we're just having a good old gossip. You know, it's the same. It's gone on for over 1,000 years of royal gossip. It's just changed how we do it and how many people can be involved in it and the instancy of it. Monica says, I'm looking forward to seeing the Wales children and all the other young royals to start growing. Well, they already have. I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't seem 5 minutes since Catherine was holding Prince George and presenting him to the world on the steps of the Lindo Wing. And then now we're thinking in a couple of years, you know, he's going to be at Eton. You know, when you think about it, it's crazy. We've already seen so much growth from them. And, you know, it won't be long until, you know, Eton's finished and then, you know, George will be at university and then we'll be looking at what he's going to do next career-wise. So, like I say, everything is very temporary. Right, I'm going to see if I've missed any really important questions. Monica says, I am one of those who came back and so glad I did. I had to unsubscribe from so many royal YouTubers who started going off the deep end. There are a lot of people that don't know a lot. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but there are some goddamn awful royal YouTubers. I don't watch them, but the little snippets that I have dipped into here and there, I don't know how anybody can watch them because it's very apparent to me they have about that much royal knowledge. They literally have nothing. All of their commentary, all of it is based upon hate. It's based on toxicity. And, you know, people are feeding it. You know, I can't watch that stuff. I literally can't. My head cannot deal with all of that negativity. Right, I think that's me done. I've been prattling on at you for 34 minutes. So I am going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching this live stream. I'm hoping it's going to get put out to lots of people. It might not, I don't know. But if you do find this video and you've watched it this far, please give it a big old thumbs up. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you've enjoyed the video. Leave a comment as well, because it shows the YouTube algorithm that you are engaged with the video, and that will help it to be pushed out to more and more people. So when I say at the end of every video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all of these things really do matter in getting my videos out there above all of the toxic YouTube videos that are out there. Also, it does help the algorithm if when you're scrolling and you see my videos, you do actually click on them and watch them. Because if you flick and scroll by, YouTube thinks that my video is no good and it won't push it out or recommend it to more people. So that's just some tips of how we can try and get good information on top of the false, negative, toxic information. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will speak to you next time. So, mwah to you all, my royal lovelies, and goodbye.